Hello, outcasts! With nothing else to do between now and the 300 years until Wednesday's third season, why don't we speculate wildly about what will happen in season 3 and consider some lessons we should learn from the first couple of seasons. I made some predictions in my last video about the cast announcement, and I'm here to dig myself into a deeper hole by telling you more about them. Here they are, from my most confident guesses to the least likely ones. Theory number 1. I think that Chris Sarandon, Balthasar. Chris Sarandon will be Grandmama's ex-husband. I'm pretty sure about this one. In episode 6 of season 2, the episode where Wednesday and Enid were body swapped, Professor Lady Gaga's ghost referred to a huckster that Grandmama Frump was tricked into having a family with. There's an old playwright rule, Chekhov's gun, that says,
if a gun is mentioned in the story, there will be a gunshot in the future. Which translates in this case, if Lady Gaga mentioned a huckster, the huckster will appear in due time. Chris Sarandon is the only cast member without an initial, because as I theorized before, if he had one, it would be F, giving his identity away. While the question-marked bottle next to him isn't a mystery cast member, but Hester.
Of course, huckster is a big word. We have to think, who is he meant to be a huckster for? Professor Gaga, who doesn't sound like a great person, Hester, who is also awful, or the world? It remains to be seen. We also don't know anything about the relationship of the family with Grandpapa. Is he meant to be dead? Alive? Alive and estranged? Alive and dead? It's all a big mystery. Theory number 2. This will be the redeem season for Tyler. In Tyler's defense, he has been dealt a terrible hand in life. His mother died when he was a child. He was raised by his father, an emotionally distant man and an alcoholic, who was afraid that his son might have his mother's condition, which he credited for her demise. He then came into the radar of this psychopath, who tortured and groomed him to do her bidding, taking advantage of his outcast powers that he couldn't understand, let alone talk about with anyone else. He met a girl that he liked, but who his psychopath minder wanted to murder. And then both he and the girl wanted to murder each other. Oh wait, and his dad also shot him at the end of season 1. And what happened to his dog? Where's Elvis? After all that, his dead mother reappeared, not to nurture him, but to control him, bringing with her an uncle that is not just an emotional, but an actual zombie. And they both tried to strip him of his essence via some additional torture. He then had a literal physical fight with his mom, who ended up with her hurling to her death. Like, dude, he needs a bit of sympathy. This will be his redeem year, not only because he cuts an impossibly tragic figure, but also because Wednesday, by a mixture of calculation, pity and feelings, let him loose at the end of season 2, instead of, as she had vowed before, killing him. Theory number 3. Winona and the rest of the bees from the cast announcement will be a family. Either Winona or Cyrus will be the new principal, possibly Winona, with Cyrus being a professor,
And they will both join Nevermore with the 2 younger actors as students.
Winona will ask Morticia, who is an old family friend, to stay at Nevermore to help with the running of the school, and that's why the Adamses will still reside at Rotwood Cottage, as we have seen, from Lurch and Varicose having a dance there at the cast announcement. There will possibly be a history between Wednesday and Pugsley and the new kids, potentially some romantic undertones for either of the siblings. I think they will be involved with something villainous. Not all of them, but at least one of them, and we may get some red herrings about which one of them will be the baddie. Sorry, it's Tabitha, not Winona. I don't know why they don't just call her Winona in the show, you know? Like, nobody's going to refer to her as Tabitha. Theory number 4. I'm still on the fence about Capri. She was shown to be a capable adult in the madness that was Nevermore last year, worrying about the students, providing some mild mentorship to Wednesday and Enid. But also, she definitely visited Willow Hill wanting to find out more things about, you know, the hide they had in there. And she could have only been nice to Enid, looking to recruit an alpha wolf for her monster commune. I think the Monster Collective will also be a source of villainy, but that new kid Tyler will be on whatever side Wednesday is on. That's probably going to be the good guys. My fifth theory, this is a certainty actually, the show is trying to make us worry about Enid again by showing her name tag burn. Maybe it means her essence is in danger while she's in alpha wolf form. I don't buy that Enid will die. Wednesday and Fester will save her quickly, and I'm sure heroically, in the first episode to avoid using too much of that ugly CGI. Have you noticed it's always dark or raining when we see these monsters? I wonder why. Enid will return to Nevermore traumatized and now a bona fide super monster. And you know who is always there to provide a home for monsters? Capri! I think there might be some overlap in their storylines. Theory number 6. Again, not really a theory, but an expectation for a storyline. Agnes's family will come to the fore. That's because, really, there's no other student left to get nosy about. Bianca had almost 2 seasons of backstory resolved emphatically at the end of season 2. Ajax is too pure to have darkness in the background. Eugene is in a happy family. It's got to be Agnes, with a mother that has abandoned her for a new normie family and a father that is very clearly absent. I think there's a story there. And my last theory for this video, it's an old one and my wildest one. And it is about Ophelia. Back in season 2, I really disliked the vision Wednesday had of Enid dying. Wednesday's visions were until then, and since she got her mojo back, very factual. The Enid is dead because of you vision was drenched in stupid symbolism, with stupid birds holding stupid flowers that stupidly broke. Enid was both in a grave and also choking Wednesday. My theory last season was that Ophelia was incepting this vision in Wednesday since he was going to be the big bad. I was wrong. But what if whatever or whoever messed up Ophelia back in the day and made her cry those black tears was trying to do the same thing with Wednesday? Maybe an old family friend or a huckster granddad. If it is the case of the second, maybe Hester has incarcerated her daughter for her own protection, and not because she's ashamed of her. That's actually the only way in which Hester is not a total villain. In the case of psychic warfare, I expect that whims will be in hand to provide some guidance. I will leave you with some lessons learned from watching 2 seasons of Wednesday. First, it would bode us well not to overthink things. Season 1 was a simple whodunit that gave us plenty of red herrings and culminated in the old "it was 2 killers" trick. Season 2 similarly had 2 villains, both in plain sight, but some of us, me, were looking for hidden Ophelias and conspiracy theories, overlooking bigger clues. For instance, Gomez's lack of powers, highlighted in several episodes, merited more attention. On the other hand, the Da Vincis were put in the frame because they wanted to showcase the powers that Isaac had and consequently make think a possibility. My point is, let's not try to analyze everything so much, she says after 10 minutes of crazy speculation, and maybe we can enjoy the ride a bit more. Secondly, the cast announcement. It's a cool list that allowed us to theorize, but if you remember from the previous announcement in season 2, there were names that were withheld from us as a surprise, or even because they hadn't joined the cast yet. Don't look at this cast list like it's the final item. Thirdly, when the episodes come, look at the voice actor credits at the end for clues. Frances O'Connor, even though her character's identity wasn't revealed until the second half of the season, was credited in the mid-season finale as Françoise, and not Ophelia as some, me, had incorrectly predicted. Finally, when the time comes, anagram and acronym everything. And that's it from me for now. If you enjoyed this, why not like or subscribe so that you can come back in the future and see how wrong I was about everything. As always, thanks for watching.